But I'm going to do that with you, and pass or fail, if I make it or don't make it, you'll at least be a part of the process, and I'll be held accountable to actually do something because
we're going to try to make some music.
I don't sleep enough. I drink too much.
So I'm in session with my therapist, and we're doing EMDR. That's what kind of triggered
Without
this.
further ado, here's my first attempt at my journey back to music. Thank you. Thank you for your encouragement, for your support, for being here as I open myself up on this platform to talk about something that's very, very important to me. We did it. And I mean we. You and me, we all are on this journey together. This being the last episode of the Journey Back to Music series does not mean that my journey is complete. Far from it. I believe that this is just the beginning of my journey. This is my first step into who I am and what I'm going to do as a composer in my life. Does this mean I'm going to be a successful composer? I don't know. I can't tell you. Nobody can. Nobody knows the future. But I do know this. I learned something very valuable over the last few months. The month and a half where I was recording the first 4 episodes, and then the 3 months that followed when I was swamped with work, swamped with procrastination and fear, and then I finally did it. And I learned that talent, ability, interest, taste mean nothing if you're not willing to sit in the pain and do the work. Work is everything. Hard work, grit, determination, and will. That's what it's all about. In some of the darkest places of this journey where I thought, my God, why have I made such a big deal over one piece of music? I mean, I put so much pressure on myself because not only am I trying to make a good piece of music, which is always hard enough, but I'm doing it in front of an audience. And you all know how late this is, if you will, because, I was supposed to have this all done and wrapped by the end of November. And here we are on March 1st, 2019, and it is wrapped now, at least this song. But that pressure was very difficult, and under pressure, I feel more fear, and fear invites me to escape and to step away. But there's something that happens in my brain, and I'm sure your brain as well, that says, actually, the thing I fear most is the thing I must do. And when that actually clicked for me sometime in the middle of February, I sat down and I finished this piece. It was fully written in November. It was fully written by the time December rolled around, but it was not produced. And I'm gonna release an epilogue to this where I talk about the actual production of the track, the actual writing process, who I worked with, why, how, and what, because that stuff's awesome. And if you're a geek about music production in general or writing, that'll be a fun episode. But this is about the end of the journey. That piece was written, but it was not finished. And I was afraid of not finishing, and therefore I didn't finish it. And when I actually confronted that fear and said, I'm gonna not finish this, I actually finished it. Because what I'm releasing today is not finished. It's a piece of work that I decided was done. And it's never done, is it? I mean, in 5 years, my skills should be so much better that I'll look back on this piece of music and be like, wow, I've improved. Because it's never done. We're never finished. And that's the thing that I am just brutally embracing with music. What I release into the world is unfinished, slightly processed, slightly curated, and hopefully enjoyable, and it reflects somewhat of me who is unfinished, slightly processed. I forgot what else I said, and hopefully enjoyable. The whole point is, I so appreciate each and every one of you who've come on this journey with me, who's given me encouraging words and said, keep going, or man, thank you for sharing, or I needed to hear this today. Because this message is for all of us, you know, all of us that are on the journey of creativity. So, it's crazy that this thing's over. I mean, I've been on kind of a YouTube hiatus this whole time. I've released a couple headphone videos because people send me headphones and I do videos for them, and that's tight. But this is it, man. I mean, until the epilogue, this is it. And I'm gonna get back into regular YouTube uploads, which is wild. That hasn't happened for a long time. So for those of you who've been with me since the beginning of this channel, I wanna say thank you so much for supporting me the whole way. I wanna name a couple of people that made this possible. First and foremost, my wife. What's up, man? How are you?
Great.
Welcome back. It's like I'm recording this video. This is my like final journey back to music thing. I was literally about to say your name.
That's
and you
funny.
busted in.
That's funny.
I said, yeah. I mentioned my wife, and I was gonna mention some people that like encouraged me to do this.
Very excited.
And I was about to name your
That's
name.
great.
So I was like just naming people that were like helpful in this thing. And I wanted to name Nate Happer, which you're not even mic'd up, literally just busted in from Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
And you encouraged me to do this whole thing. It was in October or September, whenever we went to St. Louis.
St. Louis,
And I
yeah.
hired you to come with me, and you were like, dude, why don't you just do this on YouTube?
Yeah.
Stop whining about it, just do it. So thank you.
You're very welcome.
Appreciate you. The other person I want to thank is Zane Callister, a really close friend to me and fellow composer. He's who really helped me in the journey of music licensing when I was trying to get into this in 2015. Become a dear friend of mine, now we're neighbors. And Zane has been unbelievably encouraging this whole time. Also want to thank Jared Logan down at JTL Studios who mixed this whole project for me. I mixed the 110 tracks of it and then we summed it down at JTL, and he mixed the stems, which we'll get into more in the epilogue. And then Brian Calhoun, phenomenal mastering engineer, took care of the mastering. And then I had Ross Christopher out of St. Louis, a phenomenally gifted cellist, play on this track, and that's one of my favorite parts of it. I've never had a cellist play on my tracks. I've had violinists, but never a cellist, and that is just 100% brought life to the whole thing. So, as of today, it is released on Spotify, iTunes, Bandcamp, SoundCloud, Pandora, Marmoset for licensing, and everywhere else you can find music. So go listen, let me know what you think. If you like it, great. If you don't like it, what am I supposed to do? Thank you again for watching this channel, supporting me, and I will see you all next time.